Hey everyone, welcome back. So, today we're moving up the ladder. We're going to start talking about sadness on the emotional pyramid. Um, when it comes to sadness, a lot of us decide to live here. We decide that this becomes part of our identity. We better know this as depression. Now, depression is extreme sadness, right? To where you are feeling a wide range of these primal emotions, right? The prime emotion being the cause of the sadness, right? So that's going to be, you're going to feel at a disadvantage. You're going to feel, you've lost something, despair, grief, helplessness, disappointment, sorrow. Those are the elements to sadness. These are the prime emotions to sadness. Now, going through these, right, you can feel at a disadvantage, right? Like you can't compete with everybody else, or you can't achieve what others can achieve, which in turn, is going to make you feel sad because you want to get to that level, right? Next is going to be loss. Now, loss can be anything from losing a person to losing your job to losing something that is important to you. That's what loss is. Anything that is important to you, right? Despair, right? Despair, I kind of relate to falling down into that hole and not knowing how to get out. That is despair, right? And that's despair in a nutshell. That's the best way I can describe it. Grief, grief, we can grieve again over pretty much anything that is important to us, whether that again is a person, a place, thing, doesn't really matter. Grief is grief, loss is loss, and it comes down to each individual as to what is important to them when it comes to these things. Helplessness, again, the feeling like you can't be helped, or nobody's willing to help you, right? Just feeling weak, right? That is helplessness. Disappointment, well, most of the times when it comes to disappointment, it's being disappointed within ourselves. You can be a little bit disappointed with other people, right? But when it comes to sadness, it's usually related to oneself. And sorrow. Sorrow is kind of a big one because when people are going through depression, they experience sorrow in many different ways. But most of the times, the sorrow is the inability to do something, right? So they just lie there and you're unable to do anything because you're that sad. Like you are in distress and you don't know how to do, and that is sorrow, and that will cause you to be extremely sad. And I think that's a very good example of that, is that you are in distress when it comes to it, and that's having sorrow. So this is sadness in a nutshell. There again, I will agree there is a lot more to this one, but to give a basics and give the understanding to it, and having the understanding is going to be the first step to overcoming depression, right? Overcoming extreme sadness. Now, if you are going through depression and you are struggling with it, understanding is the first key, right? Having that understanding will start elevating you to the next level. So remember, you guys are limitless. I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos.